गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पता न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्तवेदांग विद्याय स्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारम् शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिम्। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We'll read from page 83. Third line. Tenaiva hi aham kartra aham pratyavishayena pratyayna sarva kriya nirvartyante tat phalam cha स एव अश्नाति तयोरन्यः पिप्पलं स्वादुवत्ति अनश्नन्नन्यभिचाकशीति इति मंत्रवर्णात् आत्मेन्द्रियमनोयुक्तम् भोक्ता इत्याहुर्मनीषिणः इति मंत्रात् इति च तथा च एको देवः सर्वभूतेषु गूढः सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा कर्माध्यक्षः सर्वभूतादिवासः साक्षी चेता केवलो निर्गुणश्च इति सपर्यगात् शुक्रम् अकायमव्रणम् अस्नाविरगम् शुद्धम् अपापविद्धम् इति च एतौ मंत्रौ अनाधेयातिशयताम् नित्यशुद्धताम् च ब्रह्मणो दर्शयतः ब्रह्मभावश्च मोक्षः तस्मान्न संस्कार्योऽपि मोक्षः अतः अन्यत् मोक्षं प्रति क्रियानुप्रवेशद्वारम् न शक्यम् केनचिद्दर्शयितुम् तस्माज्ज्ञानमेकं मुक्त्वा क्रियायाः गन्धमात्रस्यपि अनुप्रवेश इह नोपपद्यते ननु ज्ञानं नाम मानसी क्रिया न वैलक्षण्याद् क्रिया ही नाम सा यत्र वस्तु स्वरूप निरपेक्षया एव वस्तु स्वरूप निरपेक्षा एव चोद्यते पुरुष चित्त व्यापार अधीना च यथा यस्यै देवतायै हविर्गृहीतं स्यात् तां मनसा ध्याये वषट्करिष्यन्निति संध्यां मनसा ध्यायेत् इति चैवमादिषु ध्यानं चिन्तनं यद्यपि मानसं तथापि पुरुषेण कर्तुम् अकर्तुम् अन्यथा वा कर्तुम् शक्यम् पुरुषतन्त्रत्वात् ज्ञानं तु प्रमाणजन्यम् प्रमाणं च यथाभूतवस्तु विषयम् अतो ज्ञानं कर्तुम् अकर्तुम् अन्यथा वा कर्तुम् शक्यम् केवलं वस्तुतन्त्रमेव तत् न चोदनातन्त्रम् नापि पुरुषतन्त्रम् तस्मात् मानसत्वेऽपि ज्ञानस्य महद्वैलक्षण्यम् यथा च पुरुषो वाव गौतमाग्निः योषा वाव गौतमाग्निः इत्यत्र योषितपुरुषयोः अग्निर्बुद्धिर्मानसी भवति केवल चोदनाजन्यत्वात् क्रियया एव सा पुरुषतन्त्रा च या तु प्रसिद्धे अग्नौ अग्निर्बुद्धिर्न चोदनातन्त्रम् नापि पुरुषतन्त्रा किन्तर्हि प्रत्यक्षविषयवस्तुतन्त्रा एव इति ज्ञानमेव तन्न क्रिया एवं सर्वप्रमाणविषयवस्तुषु वेदितव्यम् तत्रैवं सति यथाभूत ब्रह्मात्मविषयमपि ज्ञानं न चोदनातन्त्रम् तद्विषये लिङ्गादयः श्रूयमाण अप्यनियोज्य विषयत्वात् कुण्ठीभवन्ति उपलादिषु प्रत्युक्त क्षुरतैक्ष्ण्यादिवत् अहेय अनुपादेयवस्तु विषयत्वात् किमर्थानि तर्हि आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः श्रोतव्यः इत्यादीनि विधिच्छायानि वचनानि स्वाभाविक प्रवृत्ति विषय विमुखीकरणार्थानि इति ब्रूमः। यो हि बहिर्मुख प्रवर्तते पुरुषः इष्टं मे भूयात् अनिष्टं मा भूत् इति न च तत्र आत्यन्तिकं पुरुषार्थं लभते तम् आत्यन्तिक पुरुषार्थ वांछिनम् स्वाभाविक कार्य करण संघात प्रवृत्ति गोचराद् विमुखीकृत्य प्रत्यगात्मस्रोतस्तया प्रवर्तयन्ति आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः तस्य आत्मन्वेषणाय प्रवृत्तस्य अहेयमनुपादेयम् च आत्मतत्त्वमुपदिश्यते इदं सर्वं यदयमात्मा यत्र तस्य सर्वमात्मैवाभूत् तत्केन कं पश्येत् केन कं विजानीयात् विज्ञातारम् अरे केन विजानीयात् अयमात्मा ब्रह्म इत्यादिभिः यदपि अकर्तव्यप्रधानमात्मज्ञानम् हानायोपादानाय वा न भवतीति तथा एव इति अभ्युपगम्यते। अलङ्कारो हि अयम् अस्माकम् यत् ब्रह्मात्मा वक्तौ सत्यां सर्वकर्तव्यताहानिः कृतकृत्यता चेति तथा च श्रुतिः आत्मानं चेत् विजानीयात् अयमस्मीति पुरुषः किमिच्छन् कस्य कामाय शरीरमनुसञ्जरेत् इति एतत् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत इति च स्मृतिः। तस्मात् न प्रतिपत्ति विधिविषयतया ब्रह्मणः समर्पणम्। So we had seen that the description of the two word Bhashyakar has given the negation of the Purupaksh, and the Purupaksh which we were negating yesterday was the Vrittikarmatam, which said that Brahmopasanam is required after Brahmagyanam, and Brahmopasanam can give. After Jnanam you need the Upasana to create moksha. So this was refuted. I think around 5-6 argument was given. How many? 5. So those arguments were given starting from the definition of moksha. First argument was that moksha is asharirata hi mokshata. Then Brahma-bhava moksha was there. Then second was Abhyupetavad was there. That if you say that moksha is born by upasana, then moksha won't be permanent. Then third point came that the Vedas have two parts. One is the Gyan Kand, other is the Karma Kand aspect. So Vedanta will come in the Karma Kand if you say that Upasana is there. Then fourth point was that Brahman is not Upasya because it is the nature only. One's nature, you cannot make it the product. You cannot make it the object of knowledge. We had a long discussion on that, where object of knowledge was mentioned. So how Brahma Gyan is not the Jnana of Brahman, but it is more the removal of the Anatma in the Brahman. This was the fourth point. Fifth was Then, he brought another point that if you say that we believe in that statement in which there has to be something done, then the negation is done in the Vedas where nothing is done. That was the almost fifth point, one of the point. And last was, that was just a clarification when he said that in the Upanishad, the Upasana has been mentioned. You are saying Nididhyasan. You are giving the name Nididhyasan, but actually your Nididhyasan is our Upasana only. So, I have already described that. So, let me now move ahead toward the last point. So, here he said that Nididhyasan is not, I'll just touch upon that point. Nididhyasan is not Brahmopasanam. Rather, Nididhyasan is a part of Jnanam. Nididhyasan is one aspect of knowledge, and it is not the Upasana. How do you know that? First point is that Nididhyasan is not after Jnanam. Nididhyasan is for Jnanam. If Upasana was different and Jnana was different, then the Jnana aspect would not have come in the Nididhyasan if these two were different aspects. So in the Nididhyasan, you are doing nothing else but what you have heard. You are trying to dwell upon that. You are trying to stabilize yourself on that, rather than doing something else. If two actions are different, because Nididhyasan, if you say it's an Upasana, so Upasana means it's an action. I told you it's a Sukshma Mansik Karma Upasana iste. So you would have taken one karta and you have done the action called Upasana after the knowledge was over. But there is nothing called knowledge is over in Nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is an extension, or you can say a way of dwelling in the knowledge itself. It's a part of Shravanam. Yesterday I told the word that Shravan is Angi, and Manan and Nididhyasan are Ang. So Nididhyasan and Manan are a part of Shravanam. It is not different totally from Shravanam. And Nididhyasan is not after Jnanam, it is for Jnanam. Yes, you don't forget this. If two things, because you agree that Jnana is not an action. So if Gyan is not an action, so the part of the Gyanam is also not an action. Okay. So Nididhyasan api avagatarthatvat. So Nididhyasan is also avagatarthatvat. Avgat means knowledge. That is also for knowledge only. This is the first point. I hope this is clear. Don't get any doubt on this aspect. That Nididhyasan is also an upasana. Nididhyasan is an extension of your Shravanam. It's a methodology to dwell in what you have heard. It's a technique to dwell, to make your knowledge firm and unwavering. It's a technique. It is not a separate thing than the Shravanam. This is the first difference. Okay. Second difference is that in Upasana, there is a karma aspect. Upasana is a karma after Jnanam. Supposing it is told that this is the Upasana, this is Krishna Upasana, this is Ram Upasana. So teacher will tell this is a Jnanam. This is how the Upasana of Ram, Shri Ram should be done. Upasana of Shiv Bhagwan could be done. And after he hears that, Upasak, then he does the Upasana, and that Upasana is holding on to the Karta, and it is Karma Rupa Upasana. So there are two different aspects. One is hearing, other is doing. He heard how Rama Upasana should be done, and after hearing, he is doing it. There are two aspects to it. But Nididhyasan is not that you heard Vedant and after that you are doing it. Rather, whatever you have heard, you are removing the pratibandh of why that knowledge has not been personalized. So the attempt to personalize the knowledge is Nididhyasan. And the Upasana is an attempt to practicalize the knowledge. One is personalize the knowledge and other is practicalize the knowledge. So in personalizing the knowledge, he is negating the doership, he is negating the karakas, and he is negating the phal, and he is asserting his nature. Rather, in the Upasana, he is holding the doership, he is not negating the karakas, and he is not negating the phal. There is no negation involved in Upasana of karta, phal and karakas. This is the second difference between the Nididhyasan and Upasana. Third difference is that Vrittikar says that Upasana produces punya. But Nididhyasan, Bhashyakar says, does not produce punya. Because the phal, punya, is called adrisht. This adrisht is a very favorite word of Purvamimamsa. Adrisht means that I did the Upasana. Now the fruit is not seen, but it will come. Fruit of Upasana. Upasana is seen, but I don't see the fruit. What fruit when will it come? How much will it come? Through which it will come? Yes, it will come. This much is clarity is there that fruit will come. But where is it? And how long will it take? With whom will it come? Which nimitt will it take to come? How long will it stay? All these are not known to me. But Nididhyasan, fruit is not adrisht, it is drisht. The moment you do Nididhyasan, that time only you can see that my identification has gone. There is a third difference. Moment you do the Nididhyasanam, you will see that my mind was not settled. Now it is settled with this meditation. So Nididhyasan doesn't produce any adrisht phal. In some time it will come. This is the third difference, right? Fourth difference is that in the Upasana, one expects moksha in the future. In the Upasana, one is expecting moksha in the future. And in the Nididhyasan, very expectation of moksha is knocked off. He says, I am mukta right now. Asserting your nitya mukta swabhava now is Nididhyasa. So Nididhyasu does not say that I will be liberated in some future, because he asserts that I am the Atma. Therefore his moksha is assertion there only that I am Mukta Swarup. So this is the fourth difference between the Nididhyasana and Upasana. Okay, both appear little similar, and therefore try to get the difference between the Upasana and the Nididhyasana. So what is the end result of all this? That Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana, for an ordinary person, for Uttam Adhikari only Shravan can gain Gyan. But if it is with Pratibandh, then all together are required for knowledge, where Shravan has positive side of producing knowledge. Manan has negative role of removing doubts. And Nididhyasan has negative doesn't mean something bad. Negation. And the Nididhyasan has the negative role of removing Dehadhyas, habitual Dehadhyas. The thought, the habit, the samskar, that Jagat is Satya. This is the work of Nididhyasan. So, Nididhyasan, what it does? It removes the doership or negates the doership in the self and Satyat, truthfulness in the name and form of the world. These are the three roles of this Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasan. But again I will say, of these three, Shravan is first and the foremost. And unless somebody has done sufficient Shravan, sufficient is different from person to person. Everybody has different amount of ignorance available. And everybody has different doubts also. And sufficient samshaya is removed by Manan. And again I will say, and sufficient Nididhyasan has been done, this knowledge won't become not moksha-daini. Then it is only, I have heard but not known, as we were sharing yesterday. So all these three converts the Paroksh Jnana into Aparoksh Jnana, information into realization. This is the rule now. Okay. Now last Purupaksh, which is touched upon, I will now see that aspect kya hai. Last Purupaksh, that after knowledge something has to be done. This was Vrittikar's attempt. And after knowledge nothing needs to be done. That is the Vedanta attempt is there. So here Bhashyakar will say that there is no karma involved after the knowledge of the self. So karmana na moksha, upasanaya na moksha, jnane neva tu moksha. When this was said, I'll show you that Vrittikar says that there is no moksha because of karma and jnana. This topic I took, but again I'll take, because this is coming today only we heard that. He says that jnanam is the moksha. Well, yes. And then he says, is it not that jnanam is also a type of karma? Yesterday or day before yesterday I was talking about that. Vidhi kriya, it is said. If upasana is a mental activity, because thought is involved, then jnanam is also a mental activity. Because upasana also has vritti, and jnanam also has a vritti. Upasana also has avritti. Avritti means repetition. Then jnanam also has repetition. This was mentioned there. So, like the upasana is a mental activity, jnanam is also a mental activity. And if you say that upasana cannot give moksha because it is an action, so with your same logic, I will say that jnanam also should not give moksha. So jnanam api karma rupam manas vritti rupatvat upasanavat. This is the Nyaya language. Again I will repeat. Jnanam api karma rupam. So jnana is also of the nature of karma. Manas vritti rupatvat upasanavat. So here the answer has been given. Answer is not that you have not heard, but every time you will hear, you will feel something new is there in it. Even same thing you hear, you will feel there is a subtler aspect to it. What is that? Now let us see that. So this is a technical answer. He says, jnanam does not fall under karma. First difference. But upasana falls under karma and jnanam doesn't fall under karma. Yes. Why? Because both are vritti. It does not mean both are karma. Both are vritti. It does not mean that both are karma. Well, how come? I'll tell you. Why are you in a hurry? I'll tell you. First difference is that jnanam depends on the object of knowledge. The jnanam aspect, which is called vastu tantra. Whereas karma depends on the subject of knower, called kartru tantra. Okay. So whatever is the jnanam, so you have no choice but to accept as it is. You have no choice but to accept as it is. You cannot make the jnanam. What you have to do that you can make it. You can make it, you can unmake it. But what? So one is the area of making, and other is the area of seeing. Up supposing your eyes are open. Why suppose it is open? So, अब this is a flower. अब you have no choice but eyes will say this is flower. You cannot make the flower in it. If anybody will ask, what is this? Eyes will say this is flower. It can't say this is a elephant, or it can't say this is a human being. But supposing I give this flower to you, I won't give, but I'm just saying. Supposing I say, take this flower and make anything out of the flower. Make something. So you say, okay, I'll make that. And you can take this flower, and in your copy you can take out the petals, and you can make one round circle out of the petals. Handicraft it is called. Handicraft. Children do that. So they can make eyes also, they can make nose also, they can make mouth also. This, where making is involved, where you have the freedom of making something, unmaking something, that area is called the Kartru Tantra. Where you cannot make anything, you have to accept as it is. That is called Vastu Tantra. So, work is involved only in that area which is Kartru Tantra. You cannot work on that area which is Vastu Tantra. You are hearing. This is Kartru Tantra or Vastu Tantra? Kartru Tantra. Hearing. Hearing. Vastu Tantra. You have no choice but what I am saying, that only you have to hear. If the ears are okay, of course. Which I suppose it is okay. But what you are writing is not Vastu Tantra. If I see, everybody must have written something else. For some word is more important. For some other word is important. For some nothing is important. For some everything is important. In our Sandipni, sometimes they were writing the jokes also. If supposing some Guruji has written, so they used to say joke number 21. So when they had to give a talk, they used to buy hard jokes also. Imagine that. Now this is Kartru Tantra. So whatever is Kartru Tantra, their karma is involved and their doer is involved. And what is Vastu Tantra, their karma is not involved. You have to accept as it is. So Jnanam Vastu Tantram, Gya Tantram, Natu Praman Tantram. So Gya Tantram, Natu Pramatru Tantram. Jnanam is Prame Tantram. Tantram means governed by. Governed by. So Jnanam is Prame Tantram. Natu Pramatru Tantram. Jnanam. I'm using all the languages. English also, Sanskrit also, whatever you catch. Better if you catch Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is good in communicating these ideas. Jnanam is Prameya Tantram, Natu Pramatru Tantram. Karma is Pramatru Tantram, Natu Prameya Tantram. What action you have to do, you can do, you may not do. You can do it very nicely, you can make it worse. Sun is sun. Nobody can say sun is moon or sun is star. Everybody will say sun is bright. You have no option about the sun to say no, sun is like earth. You cannot say or sun is dark. Sun is sun. Whether child is there or you are rich or poor, it doesn't matter. There is no action involved in knowing that sun. You have to know it as it is. In Bhashyakar, it is written, Vidhi Kriya is there. Vidhi Kriya. See, I'll show you. He is saying there, you open page. See page 79. Page 79 you see last but 3 line. न च विधिक्रिया कर्मत्वेन कार्यानुप्रवेशो ब्रह्मणः. From the bottom last 3rd line. न च विधिक्रिया कर्मत्वेन कार्यानुप्रवेशो ब्रह्मणः अन्यदेव तद्विदिताद् अविदितादधि इति विधिक्रिया कर्मत्व प्रतिषेधात्. Okay. So there is no action of knowing is involved. Well, what is the meaning of action of knowing? What is the meaning of action of knowing? Action of knowing is involved in something where after knowing you have the knowledge, I know this. Get my point. I know this. Where I know and this, these 3 are different. In knowing of the Brahman, there is no action of knowing involved. That I know this Brahman. So there is no, after knowing Brahman, there is no one knowing Brahman separately than himself. The trio is not present after knowing. The trio of knower known knowledge, which is most commonly experienced in knowing of anything else, is absent, and therefore knowledge of Brahman is not an action of knowledge, even though the thoughts are required for the knowledge. But after the knowledge, there is no residue of thought, knower and known present like in other knowledges. So I know the flower. So after the flower is known, the knower known knowledge trio is intact, and therefore there is a action of knowledge involved. Got my point? And therefore this action is involved, and therefore actor is involved, and therefore phal is also there. But in the knowledge of Brahman, because there is no actor involved, and therefore phal is not there, therefore it is not a manas kriya like the upasana. This is the point. So first thing what we said, that Vastu Tantra does not give you the option. So when it will be said Brahman is there. Now when you said that Brahman is like that, so you cannot work on Brahman. It is not a workable thing. And when Brahman will be said, it is without doer and done and knowledge, that itself, there is no action involved, because it is Vastu Tantra and not Kartru Tantra. And second point which I said is that in the action of knowledge, after the knowledge, the trio is there. And because the trio is there, therefore fruit will come to the doer. But here, after the knowledge, there is no expector of the fruit of action. All three dissolve. All are negated. Yesterday I had mentioned one definition of moksha. Atmani, Praman, Pramatru, Prameya, Avasanam. Where all three Praman, Pramata is negated, that is called the moksha. Remember, yesterday I had mentioned. This is two reasons why this is not upasana, and although there is a thought involved, but still it is not the karma. It is not a manas karma. These are important point. Third point. Jnanam is dependent on the type of pramana you use. So, praman tantram jnanam. Praman tantram jnanam. Karma is dependent on Shodhana karma. Shodhana tantram karma. Shodhana means what? Prompter. Satyam bruyat, kuryat, dhyayet, agnihotram kuryat. So there it is not the pramana. Okay. So as a pramata, knowledge depends on the pramanam, and karma is Chodhana Tantra. And in the Bhashyakar, Panchagni Vidya has been mentioned. Purushova, Gautamagni, etc. You must have seen that. This is the third difference. So when it is Pramana Tantram means showing something, not asking you to do something. When Vidhi word is written, know this. It is know this to be there. Know this. It is not asking you to do this. Well, is knowing not a kriya? No, that I already refuted. This knowing is not an action. Already we refuted that. So know this, that you are without the doer and without the enjoyer. You know this. Ahankar vimoodatma kartaham iti manyate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Vidhi word is used. And somewhere he will use kuryat, yajit. Vidhi word itself tells nidam yadidam upasate, that you know that you have no action in you. You know that you have no doer in you. You know that you have no phal in you. And the topic is over after that. This is the third difference. Why upasana and yadidhyasana are not same. Is it okay? Third difference is there. This question, make it clear, otherwise both appear little similar. And I have heard people in Vedanta, they say that this is also one karma. This Shravan is also karma. Every day we are sitting for 5 hours, 6 hours, no karma is there. So, so many hours I have spent in hearing, and you are saying I am not doing any action. So they feel bad that you are saying I am not doing any action. Doer is so strong. So this is the third point. And fourth point, which I already have discussed, that fourth point is karma produces 4 kind of results. Apti, Utpadya, Vikarya and Samskara. You heard that. Attaining, Utpad means producing, modifying and purifying. These are 4 kind of action. And Jnana cannot produce any result. Jnana's work is to reveal. Knowledge doesn't produce a result. Outside result is not the area of knowledge. I saw the flower. I did not produce a flower. It was revealed. It was revealed. So knowledge is a revealer. So karma is a producer. But knowledge is a revealer. Okay. So knowledge reveals something which was hidden. And karma produces something which was not there. So self-knowledge is a kind of, he said, if self-knowledge, you say it was a karma, then it will become, moksha will become produced moksha. Produced moksha. So after karma kand, so if you say that after knowledge there should be upasana, then you are saying that something should be produced, and here it is a revealed. Reveal means you have unfolded, unveiled. And therefore, many times I had mentioned that the word realization means something is there in front of you, but you were thinking of it as something else. Okay. I live with somebody. I thought he's not a good person. But after 1 year, I realized. Realization is of something which is in front of me, about which I had a wrong notion, and that wrong notion is unveiled. It's a notional correction of something which is present directly in front of me. That is called realization. This is the meaning of. So knowledge is not a producer, it's a realizer. Will I realize this? So that self, this is the fourth point. So that self, which is already ever present and ever evident, I did not know that this self is without time and space. I didn't know that this self is without doer. I didn't know that this self is one without a second. I didn't know that this self is the cause of the world. I didn't know that this self is not having any sukh dukh in it. I didn't know that it doesn't have rag dvesh in me. With the knowledge, न मे लोभ राग न मे द्वेष रागौ न मे लोभ मोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्य भावः. This I did not know. That in me means in I, there is no dvesh, no rag, no lobh, no moh. There is no mad, there is no matsarya. I did not know that. न मे पुण्य पापौ न मे सौख्य दुःखम. There is no sukh and dukh in me. न मे mantra veda न तीर्थम न ज्ञानम aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. I didn't know that I am not enjoyer, I am not enjoyed, I am not enjoyment. So I removed this. I have made myself, although I was knowing this self since beginningless birth, but this self itself I did not know that what it was. I always thought that this self is doer, is sufferer, is enjoyer, is with body, is with family, is with mamta, is with ahankar, is with... It has to work a lot, it has family, it has so many other things. Then who are you? Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa. Dekho. The last shloka of Narayan Shatkar. What you feel you are then? Aham nirvikalpo. There is no trio available of Jeev Jagat Ishwar. Pramatta, Praman, Prameya. Nor knowledge known. Karma, karma, phal, karta. Last birth, this birth and next birth. Thinker, thought and object of thought. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa. Now I have realized this. This knowledge, there is no action therefore involved after knowing it. Is it clear now? Difference between upasana and karma should be, upasana and jnana should be now clear. Very elaborately it is written in Bhashyakar. I have taken it. You can see all these points in some way elaborated like that. And therefore the purpose too has been tu, which is written samanvaya, tattu samanvayat. So tu word which was for purva paksh vyavrittartham, that has been removed. All kinds of doubts will be removed. So this is now over. This sutra almost is over now. Okay. So this Chatussutri, what we have seen in another manner, more point-wise, more organized way, in a nutshell we had seen. I don't know how many classes. That took more than 50 classes. I don't know how many classes this year. And Brahman in the third, what was the Sangati conclusion? Let us see conclusion about that. What is the Sangati of the previous Adhikaran and this Adhikaran? Third Adhikaran. So third Adhikaran had said that Brahman is the subject matter of Vedanta. Shastriyonitvat. And here it is said that fourth Adhikaran happened to answer this, that how the Shastra, how Brahman is the subject matter. Because Brahman is going through, in and through all. How did you know this? By Shadvid Ling Nyaya. Okay. So this is where we are, and we will see. Purnamada Purnamadam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.